All right, so let's do the last two questions in your chapter 8 notes. So we have this cylinder. We're looking for the total surface area of the cylinder. And so if we look on our formula sheet, total surface area is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. So now we can input the values we know. Remember, pi is just a number, so we can just leave that as pi. R is 7 in this case. And h here is 8. Okay, so let's calculate these. And I'm just going to keep everything out to the 100th position for now until I round to the nearest 10th in my final answer. And so once we add these two numbers up, what do we get? So I get 659.74. So rounded then to the nearest 10th, 659 and 7/10 or 0.7. And our answer here would be in feet squared. All right, moving on to volume. We're looking for volume of a cylinder, which is pi r squared times h. So let's input the values we know. R is 7 and h is 8. And so now we're going to calculate this. So we have pi times 7 squared times 8 equals, and I get 1,231.50. So rounded to the nearest 10th then, we have 1,231.5. And this is volume, so our units will always be cubed. So our answer is in feet cubed. Okay, last one. This time we have a sphere. So total surface area for a sphere is, oh, it's a nice one. I like it. 4 times pi times r squared. Okay, so that's going to be 4 times pi times r squared here is 3.2 squared. So let's do that on our calculators. Once again, if you're using 3.14 to approximate pi instead of using the pi button, you will end up sometimes with slightly different answers. I will still mark those right on a test. But I like to use the pi button because it's just a little bit more accurate. So when I calculate this out, I get 128.68 if I rounded to the nearest 100th. That means to the nearest 10th then I have 128.7. This is an area, so our units are squared, so we have feet squared. And finally, let's do the volume here. So volume is 4/3 times pi times r cubed. Okay, now you can think of that 4/3 in two different ways. We can either, we could kind of make the 3 the denominator of the entire thing. So this is one way to think about it. Or we're going to do the calculation for 4/3 on its own. So if we did 4/3 and then hit equals, that would give you an answer of about 1.3333. Okay, so do that, hit equals, so that now that 4/3 has been approximated as a decimal, then do times pi, and then times, I'm just going to write this out, so 4/3 times pi times our r, which is 3.2 cubed. So times 3.2 cubed. And I get 137.26, or well, let's just round straight to the nearest 10th. That would be 0.3, and this is going to be in feet cubed. And if you do it that alternate method, go ahead and try it. Convince yourself you will get the same thing. We've just moved the dividing by 3 to the end step. And that's it for chapter 8.